What's up, people? We are back in MTGO for a new Eldritch Moon draft. This pack is quite interesting, decent amount of good cards. I've been more and more impressed with Conduit of Storm. That thing is just very solid. Shieldmate is good. I think I still like the Conduit of Storm more than Shieldmate, especially since I like red more than white. And you know then Dust Feaster and Write Down are worst. Collective Brutality is quite good too. And Dragondor is the best common in the pack. Given my preferences, I think it's between Conduit of Storm and Collective Brutality. Last time I've played that, I've actually had a hard time getting an instant or sorcery out of my opponent's hand. So I often escalated for nothing. I still think that thing is quite solid. But maybe Conduit of Storm is better. It's kind of close. I'm gonna go with Brutality. I kind of want to give that card a bit more chances, I guess. Last time I played it, it wasn't so great, but I kind of want to try it again. Okay, that pack is pretty sick. There's quite a bunch of good black cards. Boon of a Miracle, Midnight Scavenger. But I'm gonna pick Savage Alliance. That thing is just too good. Now I kind of wish I had first picked the Conduit of Storm, but obviously, you know, I could not know that I would be past a card as good as that. And the opponent probably mispicked. I mean, the one who passed us the pack mispicked, I think, because there's a forest, so there was no foil. Well, actually, this is a foil, right? Yeah, it's a foil. So they took a common over Savage Alliance. Oh, actually, there could be... No, they took a flip card. Uh, there's no uncommon that's better than Savage Alliance. I'm pretty positive about that. Either way, I'm happy to pick that. So we'll build some sort of escalate deck, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know what they could have picked here. Yeah, I cannot think of anything. Ooh, Smoldering Werewolf is amazing. So people want us to be in red, I guess. Those are two of my favorite common in the set. Werewolf is weaker but still very strong. Noose Constrictor is also super good. I like Geist of the Archive, but yeah. I wish I had taken the Conduit of Storm, not because I think it's gonna be that much better than Brutality, even though I might end up not playing black, but mostly because I might have put someone into red just because of that peak. I don't know, either way, Savage Alliance, Werewolf, two great peaks. Pretty happy about that, that's a great start. I don't have to be black, but that I mean I'm pretty sure I'm red. I mean I got past the Savage Alliance and then a werewolf, so there's no reason not to go red. Now black might not be open. I don't really know. We saw quite a bunch of good black cards. No, not last pack, but the pack before. So maybe black will be open. I don't know. We'll see. Here the best cards are. Well, Prey Upon is kind of good, but it's not that much better than the black cards, which I think Born Malevolence and Rise from the Grave are fine. I've been pretty happy with Born Malevolence so far. It's kind of redundant with those two spells, which already kill small creatures, and that one. Like, I don't really need to deal 1 damage to anything, so there is that. So maybe it's actually not the peak. I like this card when I can often kill a creature with it, but 2 of my spell already kill 1/1, and I have another one that kill 2 toughness creature. I think it's actually Rise from the Grave. It's a fine card, and it works pretty well with Smoldering Werewolf. Like reanimating that seems like a good thing to do. I don't know, I haven't actually played against or with that card yet, so I'm not sure how good it is. Would assume it's strong though. And a Bombardment, okay. So it will be the mono first pick deck. No, I guess Rise from the Grave is not the first pick, but everything else is pretty much a very solid first pick, and I have a bunch of good Dream Vault, that's nice. Yeah, Spreading Flames. Red is wide open. Prelate Choking Restraints too. Either way. That's great. And you look at that curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot get much better than that, right? So I'm already really good in the department of killing small stuff, which is nice. And now I might want some removal to kill bigger things like murder, or you know, the 6 mana one. How is it called? Certain death. But yeah, anything that's not big is gonna die fairly quickly with that with those cards. A Weaver of Lightning and a Wielding Pack Outcast. Weaver's looking really solid. It works really well with small burn spell because you can kill bigger creature. It turns Galvanic Bombardment into 3 damage, Brutality into kill a 3 toughness. I mean, it really works well with what I have. The Outcast is good, but I think given what I have, I like the Weaver more. And I don't think I've ever seen red being that open. So far, that's my strongest start regarding the power level of my cards in this set. And I've had some really strong deck and some really strong start, but like a bunch of premium removal, 2 very great uncommon creature. I mean, Rise is looking bad, and Rise is a pretty good card, so it's good, it's good. Okay, Brazen Wolf. I think I like that more than the Mao. Just not huge fan of that card. In blue-black with Enlightened Maniacs, Exultant Cultists and stuff like that, it's good, but this is a deck full of removal that will not play that many creatures, and that don't want to get, you know, have the card disadvantage of emerging. So I don't think this is a deck for any emerge card. And Brazen Wolf is just a very solid 3-drop, so. And it pairs up quite well with cheap removal, because you can just clear the board and swing for 4. And that's pretty efficient. Very, very sweet start. Okay, that's the first pick. There's actually not much going on. Make Mischief is a card I like having in my sideboard, and it's actually pretty good with the Weaver of Lightning, but I have so many similar effects that even if someone has 1/1, I don't think I will want that in my deck. Like, everything already kills 1/1, so I'm not even sure I want that. I could cut it for signaling purpose, I guess. Could also pick Guardians of Pilgrim in case black doesn't end up being that open. I'm still gonna pick Make Mischief. But even if I like having that in the side, yeah, I don't think it will make it to the main deck anytime soon when I have all those cheap burn already. Okay, well, Reaver is a playable 2-drop. Not super excited, but it's a card I can main deck. And having some cheap mediocre creature is a bit less worst than it would be otherwise when you have a bunch of removal. Because if you can just clear the path and attack each turn, you get value. If you don't have any trick or removal and this just stands there not doing anything, it's pretty bad. But I'm still, you know, I still don't think this is gonna be great, but it's probably better than in other decks at least. I think Haunter is the best card here, but Haunter is pretty bad against my deck. I kind of want my opponents to play a Haunter, so I'm gonna cut Wolfgang Bone, which could be slightly more troublesome. Currently I don't have anything to deal with big creatures. Yeah, if they want to play a Haunter, feel free to do so. Like, I have 2 cards that really punishes, I mean 3 cards that really punish my opponents for playing that, and 2 cards that can kill it anyway. I don't think I will ever play any of these cards. Yeah. I don't really care about that either. Tricks are not... I mean, this is a defensive trick, which is kind of bad too. I mean, you can use it offensively, but it's not the best. And Tricks doesn't tend to be great against deck full of removal. Okay, not a Reaver. Fine. So I have 9 playables, 7 cards, 7 strong cards, and 9 playables. That's a fine number. I just read the text, which is kind of fun, I think. Alright, Innkeeper, well that's... I think I like this card less than most people. I don't really know why, I'm just not a huge fan, but it's a fine 4-drop. For now we'll leave it in the sideboard though. I don't know why, it's just... I just don't like that card a whole lot. I'm not even sure why, because it's not bad, it's not really good either. Yeah. If I can afford not to play that, I'd be happy. But those 4 cards are clearly playable. Bold Impaler is... That dude is not bold. Oh no, it's bold in... Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I meant it's bald, not bold. Either way, maybe you got what you understand what kind of nonsense went through my mind here, but if you didn't, just ignore me. Alright. That dude has a lot of hair. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, I'm just bad. I'm just bad at English. Either way, Scavenger is looking pretty good here. In this kind of deck with a bunch of removal, I like having card advantage, and this is a good way to get card advantage. And I have 2 very solid 3-drop to get back already, so it's a fine addition to the deck. Okay, another Brazen Wolf seems better than Board Docility. Also, another thing, when you have a bunch of removal, you actually don't need Trick that much. So, yeah. And even in, even if I hadn't match removal, the Wolves are just better. Ooh, Stormquake Condemned. Thing is not looking great, but that's a pretty solid 2-drop. I mean, the double black is kind of annoying, but this is still some sort of wild mongrel type of card. And I could end up with a few madness cards. And I don't have many 2-drops, so... Even though I'm not a huge fan of the casting cost, it's still probably the best option. I mean, there was just nothing else anyway, for me. And yeah, cheap creatures are nice for the scavengers, but now I already have 4 targets, which is not a whole lot, but it's not very likely that you end up with not enough targets for the scavengers anyway. Incendiary Flow, well that's great. There's another Bombardment too, which is... I've never seen red being that open, like really never. I think the 3rd Bombardment might be better than the... No, even 3rd Bombardment is not better than Flow, I don't think so. Because you can target player with that. Jeez, red is so open, that's completely crazy. Thermo Alchemy, Spreading Flames, holy cow. Like, Thermo Alchemist is looking really solid. I have a bunch of instant and sorceries. Like, that card is great in general with removal. It's also a 2-drop. I wonder if this is not better than Spreading Flames. The thing is, with what I have, it feels like I'm gonna already kill all the small stuff, which will make Spreading Flames not necessary. I don't know, it feels like I'd rather have a certain death almost to kill big stuff than Spreading Flames. Like, dealing a bunch of damage to small creatures is something I'm already doing. Alchemist is looking very solid here. Jeez, what? Yeah, no one is playing red. Or if someone is playing red, that dude is completely blind. Holy crap. Foul Emissary? That late? Werewolf is also pretty solid. I'm gonna cut one of these two, I don't care about anything else. This could be a bit troublesome. I guess Foul Emissary is better though. I don't have to be black, I mean... I'm kind of fine being... What the... Okay. Okay, 8th pick Savage Alliance. Best uncommon in the set. Yep. I guess no one is playing red. Like straight up no one. That's completely insane. Like completely insane. Maybe the third bombardment will wheel. I don't know. I was already pretty impressed by this going like what 6th or 7th peak, since it's probably the best command in the set. But then Savage Alliance 8th peak. Yeah, there's just no one playing red. There's no other possibility here. What the hell? That's crazy. I think I might pick Patrol in case I end up playing green. This is not really a Duskfister deck. Okay, Hostility is not bad, though I don't really need that in my deck. This is not really a borrowed Hostility deck. I would need more creature and less removal to make that good. For now, I'll leave it in the side. I could end up playing mono red. Like, I have 13 playables in red. I guess 14 playables in red. Well, I mean, those are playables, but not very exciting. Holy crap. Really? Oh, yeah, that's kind of sick. Jeez. That wasn't expected. So I guess no one wants to be red in this draft, right? By the way, does someone know what this means, the red here? I kind of inferred that it meant that the person, the person here was disconnected, but yeah, if you know what this means, let me know. I think it means the person is disconnected, but I've never had any proof or confirmation about that. But since I got past the Savage Alliance, and now that Suzy is drafting super slowly, I would assume they disconnected right away, which can explain why this draft has been going so well for me. Jeez, that's really sick. And I think I almost have a deck that wanna play Succumb to Temptation because it's card advantage, and I have so much chip removal that the 2-life will not be too much of an issue. It's double black though, which I kinda don't like, but card advantage is what I want when I have a bunch of removal. That's crazy. That's really crazy. But yeah, if someone has been disconnected from the beginning of the draft, it does explain quite a lot of things. And it also makes the draft super slow, which is annoying, but oh well. What the hell though? I mean, even if so, that Suzy opened 2 Savage Alliance, passed me the first one, and the other one wheeled. So even if that person is disconnected, indeed as I think it is, there are 6 people here that were like, oh no. And also, Savage Alliance is so strong and so splashable. I have no idea why this wheeled. This might be a unique event. That's like it's probably the only Savage Alliance that will wheel. I mean, it's not really wheeling, but that will go to the 8th drafter. In the whole history of the set. Another Innkeeper is fine. I'd rather have better cards, but oh well. Weaver of Lightning is looking crazy. Like Weaver of Lightning Savage Alliance is savage. But Weaver is also great with bombardment, flow, collective brutality, everything basically. I'm just kinda annoyed that the draft is going that slowly, but well. Oh well. So maybe I'm just mono red. Well, I could end up mono red. I'm the only red player at the table. There's no way there's another red drafter if no one picked that. No way, just no way. My black is not bad though. Like I have two cards I'm really happy about, and then Condemned is kind of good, but if I'm mostly red, it's clunky. Also, I don't have any madness cards, so not a huge fan. Could also be heavy on red and have a bit of black for those two cards, which I think are great. Rise is also fine. Don't think I will play Condemned and succumb to temptation. It just makes the mana too bad for no reason. And the cards are not even good enough. Alright. Yeah, still 27 cards here. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. I mean, I'm happy that I'm getting past a bunch of good things and that my deck is looking insanely powerful, but this draft is gonna last 30 minutes or something. Just feel free to, just to click a bit later on the video. I would do that. Like, I don't even have anything interesting to tell you right now. Gold Knight Castigator. I'm not even sure that thing is actually good. If you have a bunch of Rimval, I think it's actually pretty good. There's a Forge Master on the other hand, which is just a very solid 2-drop. I don't know. This is probably wheeling anyway. This with a bunch of Rimval seems good though. Because my opponent is not gonna deal damage to me. Everything is gonna drop like flies. Yeah, alright. I convince me. I convince myself, I guess. And the other red card might even wheel. But for real, that card is like much better if you have a bunch of cheap Rimval. You can just keep the board clean and make sure that the drawback is not really a drawback. Obviously, it's pretty bad against choking restraints. But yeah, if my opponent choking restrains my angel, it's gonna be kinda annoying. Though again, I have enough Rimval to where the drawback might not even matter. Skin Invasion, Colder Bloodline. I do like Colder Bloodline a lot, but this is not really a Colder Bloodline deck. Skin Invasion is great with cheap Rimval though. Like turn 2, skin their 2-drop, bombard it. That seems nice, right? It's a decent card in any deck, but the more you have cheap removal, the better it's gonna be. So I guess if you flow, yeah, but yeah, you should worry about the flow with the invasion because the creature will not die, so you will not get your skin shatter. Yeah, kind of a yeah. Should watch out for that. Could be really clunky if it happens. I could be mono red, but honestly, I don't mind just having like maybe 6 swamp for those cards. It's not gonna cost me a lot, and they are all very good, and fits quite well what I'm trying to do in general. So I'm fine. Border Slated, I don't think it's looking great. I don't have a bunch of creature. I have a bunch of removal. Ooh, Devil's Playgrounds. Sign me in. bound my Moonsilver too fairly late. I mean, in third peak, so it's not like super late, but still, that card is probably the best uncommon. Yeah, I mean, Pyrehound looking pretty solid here. I would clearly play that over Innkeeper, but it's probably willing anyway since no one's playing red. And Playground is super solid late game. Alright, I really like how this deck is shaping up, but I guess that's not really a mystery. That's just crazy. That's really crazy. But every time I have a deck really powerful, like insanely good, deep down inside, I really fear that I'll just get you know uh, mana screwed or flooded, and that the power level will not really matter because I'm just drawing thousands um, of lands or just no lands. Don't have a lot of Maneth outlet. I guess I have Collective Brutality, so it's kind of a sweet combo potentially. But I mean, use is not my favorite. But when you have a bunch of cheap removal, I think I've said that sentence 5 times. But yeah, when you have a bunch of cheap removal, it's pretty good because there are less things that will be able to block it, and it's a solid 5-drop in general. I think it's better than the Wolf. And this is not really a Spiteful Motive deck at all. And maybe I'll get to Brutality use on turn 5 at some point. That'd be sweet. Actually, this is a Little Red Hood. I just realized. Well, Bracknick Rider is a good card. Ilvenwald Mysteries is a card I cannot beat. I guess I can get rid of the token with Alliance, but the card advantage is gonna... I mean, this is typically the kind of card that will not care about my, I don't know, my thousands of removal, and that will just destroy me. So it's slightly worrisome, but I have a very solid 3-drop, so I don't think there's any reason to cut the thing. Not that Savage Alliance is actually more of a 4-drop than a 3-drop. You often want to escalate at least once. I don't think this... I mean, this is 21, so I'm still missing 2 cards, but I don't think this is a deck that can not win the draft if I have decent draws. Like, it's just too much. Nothing I can play here. I guess Byway Courier is the more annoying card. I can kill that with a bunch of my cards, but it does give the opponent card advantage. Maybe maybe it's Cult of Waxing Moon, just because I have nothing that actually kills that very efficiently. Yeah, big creatures are actually a problem to the deck. Like, I'm saying that I have a bunch of removal, but actually my removal doesn't kill big creatures. Like, my opponent plays a 5/5. I can probably kill it by 2-for-1 me myself and using Bombardment and something else, but I don't really kill big creatures. So I guess that's an issue. Still think the deck is very strong and efficient, but yeah, that could be troublesome. Okay, I don't even need the duelist because I mean, at turn 4 I think there will be no creature that would block, but it's still better than Innkeeper, pretty much. I guess Killer is actually pretty good because I have a bunch of instant removal. Not a bunch, but at least 4 instant speed removal. It's kind of good when you have instants. It's gonna be duelist though. Okay, Gatstaff Arsonists are looking very good here. well, if this is my main deck, you know, I'm happy enough. No, it's very good. If I could get some things to wheel and to replace those Reaver, great, but yeah, if this is my main deck, it's gonna be completely fine. That's crazy. That is crazy. Ooh, Pyrehound is great. I like that way more than Stantia and Keeper. I don't want to cut a Reaver though, because I need a decent amount of 2-drops. And I have 14 creature, and my curve is fairly aggressive actually, and I have 2 Brazen Wolf. It's not like red-black control. It's still a very aggressive deck. So, I mean, I'm kind of lacking 2-drop to be truly aggressive, but still, this deck is pretty aggressive. And Savage Alliance is also a nice way to kill people. Ooh, do I want a Neonate? It's really good with the youth. It's a pretty decent card in general. Maybe. What would I cut for that though? I could be mono red, honestly, but I think my black, like if I add some red cards, it would be 4-drops, and I really don't need more 4-drops, so that's kind of an issue. And my black cards are good enough. Like playing 6 Swamp doesn't cost me a whole lot. I will still be able to cast my Rider, Castigator, Youth, and everything. Ooh, another Pyrehound. I wonder if this is not better than Voldaren Duelist in my deck. I just don't need the Duelist effect. What would I cut if I want to play Neonate though? There's nothing I want to cut. I guess Rise from the Grave? Yeah. Can cut Rise from the Grave and splash for Scavenger and Brutality. With 5 Swamp. I think it's fine. Maybe I should just not play any Swamp. The 2 black cards are just good enough that I think it's worth it. I mean, you kind of want to cast that early on, to some extent, but you know, -2/-2 is still good enough later in the game. Ooh, red used to Ash's Wheel though. That might put me in mono red now. Yeah, I think that was the nail in the coffin too. Well, I'm not even sure I can use that expression for that, but you know, that's a good enough reason to go mono red here now. But because I really have enough good playables that I'm fine main decking, and this will make things easier. Okay, well that's a good deck. But when you can afford to play monocolor and you have a very good power level. But I'm pretty positive I'm the only red drafter here. Playing monocolor can also let you play a bit less land, but my curve is still fairly high. I have 1 werewolf that I want to flip, I have a Dovel's Playground. I think it's still gonna be a 17 land deck. Could see that deck flooding out and losing. I kind of even, like if I miss a few land drop, it's probably not the end of the world because I have a bunch of cheap removal. I have 2 Savage Alliance that can let me come back in games. So yeah, the real issue with that deck is if I draw too many lands, I think. Scavenger was kind of helping with that, but you know, it's not like that great. Brutality too, because you can discard a land. I think the advantage of being mono red is just higher though. Alright, well that deck is dumb, and we'll see if it's efficient. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft. It was pretty streamlined. Yeah, it was completely streamlined. Yeah, see you for round 1.